after the fireworks of semifinal number 1, semifinal number 2 about to get cranked up, and a lot on the line here. 2 brand names across all of collegiate sports. But in this particular sport, success, either lately or in general, has eluded them. The University of Texas, 40 years since their last appearance in a national championship game, but Vic Schaefer is bound and determined to get the monkey off his back and take a championship to the 40 acres. UCLA's men's program still holds the record for most championships with 11. The women's team has never been to the championship game. They're trying to change that statistic. The second national semifinal of the night, a regular season rematch, 35-1 UCLA against the team responsible for that one in the loss column. 35-3 Texas, the winner to play South Carolina on Sunday. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our coverage of the Women's Final Four. I'm Seth East. Thank you so much for being with us. With us, we even save you the best seat in the house for what should be a most interesting second national semifinal game. As we just mentioned, these two teams played in the regular season. It was UCLA's only loss on November the 26th. 76-65, Texas won that game. UCLA, though, has been on a heater ever since then. 29 wins in a row, Big Ten regular season and tournament champion. The Bruins with wins over Cal Baptist, Oklahoma State, Minnesota, and Duke, all convincingly. They won by 53 over Cal Baptist, 19 over the Cowgirls, 24 over Minnesota, and then erased a halftime deficit to beat Duke by a dozen in the regional final on Sunday in Sacramento in the Elite Eight. And Texas, of course, Longhorns, a number 1 seed in their own right. Vic Schaefer's team will tell you their road in a second because we're about ready to get this one started. This should be a good one. Off we go in semifinal number 2, and it's UCLA who will get us rocking and rolling in this one from left to right as you listen to their white uniforms with the blue numerals, Texas right to left in the burnt orange. Here comes UCLA. Here is Neepkins. Neepkins, 13-footer, no. Rimmed out, rebound Texas, Madison Booker. Longhorns up the floor. Booker on the left wing, on a drive. Booker, free throw line jump shot, good. And the first points of the night to the burnt orange. Booker averaging 23 points and 9 rebounds in this NCAA tournament. And Texas with a 2-0 lead. This is Jaquez for UCLA. Jaquez now to Betts. Gives it to Kiki Rice. Rice, little 1-2. Rice for 3, a little bit too long. Rebound Texas and Madison Booker. Harmon on the left wing. Lob inside. Justice Carlton in trouble, and she threw it away right to Clarice Laguerre-Walker, who turns it over, or nearly turned it over. Kick out Neepkins, high arcing 3, a little too strong. Rebound bounce back, though, to Neepkins. Drives in, it scores. Good job by the grad student from Duluth, Minnesota, Gianna Neepkins. 2-2, early start here, early on here in this one. Rory Harmon now for Texas. Now Madison Booker at the top of the key. Booker now will give it to Carlton. Carlton now over to Booker. Booker top of the key, working with it. Now feeds it over to Preston. Preston just inside the painted area, too strong on the jumper. The rebound gathered by Lauren Betts. Betts gives it up now. UCLA on the right wing with it. Here is Ledger Walker. Now back to Rice, the top of the key. Rice with a bounce pass inside to Jaquez. Jaquez back to Betts. Left block jumper, good. Lauren Betts knocks the jumper down. And UCLA with a 4-2 lead. Betts averaging a ridiculous 24 points per game in UCLA's first 4 games in this tournament. The Big Ten Player of the Year. Here's Rory Harmon now for Texas. The SEC Tournament champions. 3 losses this year to South Carolina, Louisiana State, and Vanderbilt. Carleton in trouble. Gives it to Jordan Lee. 7 to shoot. Lee on the right wing. 5 to shoot. Lee got to go. 4 seconds. Lee knifes in off the window. Rattled out. And the rebound corralled by Betts. Lee was the only negative spot, if you will, in the Elite Eight. 4 points on 2 of 17 shooting. Neepkins, left wing, 3. Good! Neepkins a 3 all in. UCLA with a 7-2 lead. Rory Harmon on the right wing. Lee. Harmon, fadeaway jump shot, and good. Betts now gives it up to Jaquez. Jaquez up the floor for UCLA. They lead it 7-4, 6:09 to play first quarter. Jaquez with the basketball now. Jaquez on a drive into the lane. Ball slipped out of her hands. UCLA trying to save it. Here's Ledger Walker, and she fumbled it. Out of bounds it goes. It'll be Texas ball. Texas, the top seed in the Fort Worth 3 bracket, 87-45 in the first round. They won by 42 over Missouri State. Another 42-point win over Oregon. Then beat Kentucky by 22. And then won by 36 over Michigan in the Elite Eight. 7-4 lead for UCLA early in this one. This is Rory Harmon. Now Booker. Booker, fadeaway jump shot. It is no good. Ball bouncing around, and now here is the rebound. UCLA grabbed by Dugalich. Dugalich now has it top of the key. Betts, double team, still got it away and put it in the paint. Nice basket, Lauren Betts. And her point total matches Texas's total as a team. 9 for UCLA. Here is Texas with Lee. Lee, great steal. Great defense by Dugalich. Dugalich now to Jaquez. Jaquez slowing it down, wrap out to Betts, who had it way out on the perimeter. You don't see that often. Kiki Rice now on the right wing. Rice driving in the lane. Rice wraparound pass to Neepkins. Neepkins turn around for the free throw line. Rims out. Rebound gathered in by Texas and Booker. Booker on the left wing for the Longhorns. Booker now still the basketball. Booker a left wing 3 in and out. And the rebound gathered in by UCLA. Up ahead of the pack. Long ball. Too long for even Betts. Out of bounds. It'll be Texas ball when we come back from the first break. 4:29 to play in the first quarter with our score UCLA 9 and Texas 4. We'll be right back. 9-4 UCLA with 4:29 to play in the first quarter. The UCLA seniors, the heartbeat of this Bruin team. 836 games and over 1,000 points heading into tonight, and it's led by the immaculate 6'7" senior out of Centennial, Colorado, Lauren Betts. UCLA only played 6 players in that game against Texas early in the year, all seniors. That's the fewest in a game since 2013. Rory Harmon for Texas. Now it's Tyus Sidbury. Now Booker. Over to Lee. Lee on the drive. Stops, pops in the paint, left it short. Dugalich got the rebound. A brief fumble, but Betts secures it. Rice. And Dugalich. Lob inside to Betts. Betts, hook shot, off the heel, no good. Rebound came back to Betts. Second bite of the cherry. Missed it off the front of the rim. Rebound gathered in by Texas, and it's Harmon up the floor. Harmon. Sidbury. Lee. Now Cunningham. Off the window. Missed it. Now it is Dugalich. Rice down there to Dugalich. Dugalich with the basketball. 18 on the timer. Dugalich. And a foul. .3:15 to play in the opening quarter. And a 9-4 lead for UCLA over Texas. The second women's semifinal, part of our big best finale, festival of finales, if you will. Started last night with our coverage of the men's NIT semis. We'll have the championship of that Sunday. But the championship of this game, we'll have the men's Final Four as well. Here is Leisure Walker. 5 to shoot. Fakes it. Dugalich to right wing. 3 swish. Nothing but net on the 3 for the grad student from DePlain, Illinois. And an 8-point lead for UCLA, and Texas now has its largest deficit of this tournament. Harmon. Harmon with the basketball now. 17 to shoot. Harmon now gives it to Booker. Booker now over to Sidbury. Sidbury with the basketball now. 5 to shoot, Lee. Booker, left corner 3. That's way too long. And the rebound gathered in by Sienna Betts. Here is Ledger Walker. Oh, good bounce pass. Jaquez on the cut, laying up good for Gabriela Jaquez. And UCLA now leads it by 10, and Vic Schaefer has seen enough. Timeout, Texas. And a great start indeed. UCLA leads at 14-4 with 2:08 to play in the opening quarter. What a start for the Bruins. How about UCLA? So UCLA off to a fast start here. Now Texas has got to find a way to answer here, or else So UCLA leading it by 10 with 2:08 to play in the first quarter. Again, winner playing South Carolina on Sunday for the national championship in Phoenix. Again, both these programs in the college sports world, they are known names, but women's basketball success has eluded them. In fact, UCLA, not only are they playing in their first champion or going for an effort, not only is UCLA trying to make their first ever national championship game, last year was just their first Final Four. They beat Southern Richmond, Mississippi, and LSU before losing by 34 to Connecticut in the National Semifinals. Before that, the best they had ever done, an Elite Eight. They did that in 1999 as a 3 seed, where they lost to Louisiana Tech, and the other Elite Eight appearance was 2018 as a 3 seed, where they beat American, Creighton, and Texas, oddly enough, before a 16-point loss to Mississippi State. Corey Close. Is this going to be the year for her? Her 15th season guiding the program out of Milpitas, California. Won a WNIT championship with UCLA back in 2015. And then you look on the other side and you see the University of Texas. A Horns team who does have one national championship under the leadership of the great Jody Conrad. They won it back in 1986. Inbounds pass off the foot of Booker and out of bounds, and Texas just has no answers right now. But bounced off of Dugalich, and then it bounced off of Booker, and Vic Schaefer's like, you gotta be kidding me. So UCLA inbounding it with a 10-point lead. Again, 38 appearances for Texas in the NCAA tournament. That's tied for the third most. Rice is fouled to finish up on Texas at 80-16. They beat Missouri, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Western Kentucky, and then USC in the championship game. 97-81. That was the last time they made the championship. They also made the Final Four in 87. 2003, they made it. Lost by 2 to UConn in the semifinal. And then didn't make the Final Four again until last year when they lost by 17 to South Carolina. Inbounds pass to Dugalich. Texas in a bit of a hole right now. 1:55 to go in the first quarter. And Jaquez trying to save it, couldn't. Out of bounds, back to Texas. Now, next dead ball, I want to bring up something that could add to the fireworks that we were talking about earlier. Texas has not scored, though, in 4 minutes and 41 seconds. Harmon to Oldacre. Now handoff Booker left wing. Booker still has the basketball. Booker now giving it up. Oldacre now gets it off the pass from Crump. And Oldacre with an easy bucket inside, a much-needed basket. And it's 14-6 UCLA. Oldacre averaging 10 points a game. And then here we go. Oh, a steal and a tie-up. Well, it was a steal, but apparently it was a tie-up. The arrow does favor Texas. Of course, the men's Final Four tomorrow night here on the network, beginning shortly after 6. Illinois, UConn, and then Michigan, Arizona. Going to be 2 outstanding games, we feel. Matthew Owens will be on the call. JT will be with us. I'll be in the studio. Always one of our favorite weekends. Going back to our old platforms, where Matthew and I first got the idea to concede many years ago at the Final Four. It's been a great run ever since. Judd blocked from behind. 53 seconds to play in the first. UCLA with an 8-point lead. Texas to inbound. They better be in trouble. Oh, good. They better do it. Oldacre missed the layup. Ball out of bounds, and whose ball is it? Going to stay with Texas. So 50 seconds to go. And now here is Crump. Now over to Booker. Booker on a drive. Booker to the basket. No. Good defense by UCLA. Jaquez. Dugalich. Now over to Rice. 21 on the timer. Rice holding the basketball. 18 on the timer for Kiki Rice. Now moves over to the right wing. Now back to Betts. Now Rice. Booker had the strip. Rice falls down. Bouncing, throwing it from her backside, and it's into the hands of Crump for Texas. 14 seconds. Longhorns can hold for the last shot. Harmon a little out of control. Still has the ball. Down to 7. Harmon with the basketball now. 4 seconds left. Harmon is fouled with 3.8. Oh my goodness, that's going to drive Corey Close insane. And now Corey Close, and well, yeah, she's driving her insane. The official is driving her insane. Roger Walker in the middle of it there. I think we have Taz Walker in the background. Booker. Booker, 1 second. Booker fires. Can't beat the buzzer. And that takes us to the end of the first. 10 minutes in the books in Phoenix. And it's UCLA 14-6 over Texas. We'll be back in just a moment. Texas held to a mere 6 points in the first quarter. And they trail by 8 as we get set to start quarter number 2 in the women's Final Four, the second national semifinal, UCLA and Texas. Dick Schaefer discussing things in the huddle, and well now. Oh, this is the Oriema and Staley pregame deal. Okay, and we're going back to this, and okay, we're going to talk about this at halftime, but we're not going to talk about this. I am going to make the executive decision not to bring this up anymore. Just simply because we're not here to take. This is Texas and UCLA, and I'm not going to take away from these young women and these players and these coaches, all these people for these teams because of not going to talk about a traveling sideshow and deflect from the game they're playing. So anyway, 14-6 UCLA on top. Texas just 3 of 14 shooting in the opening quarter. UCLA with the basketball now. Bruins have it now. Here is Dugalich. Dugalich now over to Ledger Walker. Ledger Walker with 7 to shoot. Gotta go. Long 3. Dugalich off the front of the rim. No. Rebound gathered in by Harmon. Up the floor, it's Texas. Harmon trying to go right block. Fadeaway jumper. Good. Rory Harmon. Nice fadeaway jumper there. And Texas back to within 6. 4 points for Harmon. UCLA, they better hurry and get this inbounded here. They almost lost it, and then a steal. Harmon gets her hands on it. Oldacre throws up the layup, no good. Chased down by Ashton Judd, and then Judd loses it to Lauren Betts. And now UCLA goes back up the floor again. Bruins have it with Ledger Walker. Now high post Betts. Now over to Ledger Walker. Ledger Walker, oh my goodness. Another bump that didn't get called. And then the floater goes for Neepkins. 7 for Neepkins, and UCLA's lead at 8 with 8:33 to play in the first half. Booker, 16-footer and too strong. And rebound, Rice. Dugalich. Neepkins, fade away. Barely grazed the front of the rim. Rebound, Texas Crump. Booker, driving on the right block. Booker looking for some help. Kick out. Crump straight away 3. That one didn't go. Oldacre with the rebound, and she was trying to get it, took an extra step backwards without dribbling. That is what we call traveling. And it's going to go back to UCLA, another Texas turnover. (16-8) UCLA, and Vic Schaefer is none pleased. The jacket has come off, by the way. Vic Schaefer, during their 12-game win streak, Texas trailed in those games for a grand total of 8 minutes and 44 seconds. They trailed for nearly 10 minutes in this game tonight, and they trail by 8. Betts on the high post. Now a handoff, Neepkins. Neepkins driving and blocked by Texas. Longhorns had it. Now up the floor, Booker. Booker, layup is no good. Rebound gathered in by Rice of UCLA. Now Rice will dribble for Booker. Just 2 points on 1 of 8 shooting so far. Rice stumbles. Scrum on the deck. It's a tie-up, and the arrow favors Texas. Corey Close, fired up. It's to get to that championship game. Close has never been. Vic Schaefer has been to the Final Four and the championship on multiple occasions. He's been to the title game on 2 occasions when he was the head coach at Mississippi State. Could not get it done. This year be a different year. They better work something out in this game first. Booker, 17 to shoot. Booker, long three. No, nothing going for Booker. Tap, left side, and saved by UCLA's Ledger Walker. Bruins now giving it up to Neatkins. Now back over to Jaquez, right wing. Jaquez on the drive. Look for Betts. Oldacre tipped it out of bounds. Stays with UCLA, still 17 on the timer. 2 35-win teams. Texas with a 35-3 record. UCLA a 35-1 record. And now we have I'm guessing it's a review here. Yes, review. So Texas is appealing with 6:42 to play in the first half. Breaking the action. We'll pause with them. So the appeal successful for Texas as we come out of the break, as the ball did touch the hand of Lauren Betts last. I said this before, and there is Jody Conrad on the Texas bench. Good to see her out and about. They're 10 of 11 on appeals this year, so we actually have a statistic for that. The video analytics people are about to get big raises in the offseason. They're going to have more of emphasis after this year on the men's and women's side. Connor Hickson and those like him, coaching staffs across America, I feel like, are going to put a bigger emphasis on that this offseason if they need one. Because let me tell you, the amount of times the video analytic people tells the coach, hey, you might want to appeal this, it's pretty staggering. Texas with the ball now down by 8. They get it into Rory Harmon. Texas has gone nearly 3 minutes without scoring in this game. Oldacre for Texas. Bounce pass to Sidbury. Harmon. Oldacre lays it in. Good finish. Neepkins on the right wing. Neepkins turns it over and grabbed it by Texas Ashton Judd. Longhorns with a good defensive play. Now can they get it going on offense? Oldacre back to Harmon on a switch. Harmon jumper at the free throw line. Good. Canned by Rory Harmon. Texas with 4 points in a row, and they're back to within 4. Betts now giving it up to Jaquez, who dribbles it up the floor. Jaquez with it. 20 to shoot. Jaquez bounce pass now, gives it up to Wright. Betts on the left block. Betts. Oldacre defends. Betts. Turnaround. Good. Lauren Betts with a silky smooth jumper. And Texas's lead back to, or UCLA's lead back to 6. Rory Harmon, 6 points on 3 of 3 shooting. Her teammates, 6 points on 3 of 19 shooting. Harmon. Harmon thought about the 12-footer. Now gives it to Booker. Booker right wing. Booker nearly walked. Fadeaway jump shot. No, it's not been there for. Judd got the offensive rebound. Kick out. Crump straightaway 3. It's good. Aaliyah Crump with a 3. And you sent Texas back. Aaliyah Crump pulls Texas back to within 3. Under 5 to play in the first half. Jaquez gives it up. Ledger Walker drives. Ledger Walker, 12-footer, rims out, no. Texas with a rebound. They've got momentum. Booker on the right wing. Booker has not made a field goal since 9:23 in the first. Booker, jump shot, no. Still hasn't made one. Jaquez got the rebound. 1 of 11 now is Booker. And Neepkins, whoa, high pass deflected. Last touch by Judd. Or by Crump, and it's going to stay with UCLA. Texas has started to wake up now. And again, I don't know if it's just 2 good defenses, or if it's good defense, or maybe just a couple of tight teams, or maybe just a little bit of both. But boy, low-scoring games in these semifinals. Here is Sienna Betts for UCLA. High post now gives it to Rice. Rice with 11 to shoot. Rice on a drive. Rice swatted by Oldacre into the hands of Harmon. Harmon up the floor now for Texas. It's Harmon on the drive. Harmon taking herself. Takes the long 2. Rims out, no good. Rebound chased down and gathered by Rice. Rice. Betts. Betts now giving it up to Ledger Walker. Jaquez, floater. Oh, it rims into the paint. Gabriela Jaquez with a nice little roll. Second team All-Big Ten performer in the UCLA lead is now at 5 as we near 3 minutes to play in the first half. Harmon on the left wing for Texas. Harmon giving it up now to Crump. Crump with 9 to shoot. Crump bounce pass to Oldacre. Oldacre throws the hook shot up. It is no good. Rebound UCLA. Rice. Rice now over to Ledger Walker. Step back 3. Short off front iron. Rebounded by by Texas. Harmon has it. Harmon, left wing. Now into the paint, into the lane. Left block shot off the side of the glass and the rim. No good. UCLA with a rebound. Ledger Walker has it. 2:38 to play first half. Bruins with the ball up by a nickel. 20 to 15. In this second women's national semifinal. And a steal by Harmon. Rory Harmon ahead of the pack. And caught from behind and just barely gets the layup in. Like she stumbled a little bit on her way to the basket. 8 points for Harmon. And 20 to 17. UCLA now leading Texas here. I never mentioned the fireworks aspect, by the way. I'll get to that in a minute. Here's Ledger Walker. Over to Dugalee. We ever get a stoppage here? No fouls in this game, by the way. That is just insane to believe. Rice. 8 to shoot. At least not in this quarter. Rice now with 6. 5 of the timer for Kiki Rice. 3 on the shot clock. Rice still has it. Now drives. Lays it up and misses. Rebound Texas Booker. Horns could tie it with a 3. Booker trying to go. And Booker's fouled by Jaquez. Net 45 to play in the first half. Well, interesting development here between UCLA and Texas. Now, Kyla Oldacre and Lauren Betts. Well, Oldacre was quoted the other day. Had a quote. Was quoted as saying this after interaction she had with Betts. She said, "Quote: I told her don't be crying to the refs, and she said, don't be pitching. We won't have problems. As soon as I see her doing something, she's gonna get pinched." Another foul away from the ball on UCLA, so something to keep in mind here. Corey Close is not happy. Oh, the foul was on Texas. I'm sorry, it was a 5-second. Must have been a 5-second violation. I was too busy giving you pulling a NASCAR on NBC that missed the play, and that's my mistake. We don't want to replicate them here. Jaquez. Now it's Neepkins, a 3 from the left wing. Too strong. Rebound, Texas. Booker. Booker on the right wing. 22 to shoot. Booker off the window. It's no good. Rebound gathered in by Rice. Rice. And a ball here. Madison Booker has now missed 11 straight field goals. UCLA to inbound. Lead it by 3, 20 to 17. A minute 17 to go in the second. Dugalich catching the inbound. Now Betts handoff Rice. Rice backs up. Now gives it to Neepkins. Neepkins on a drive. Lob to Betts. Betts triple team. Gets it back out to Jaquez, who fires. That's off the heel, no good. And the rebound gathered in by Texas. Vic Schaefer wanted a foul, didn't get it. Justice Carlton came out of there with it. Under a minute to play in the first half. Texas ball down by 3. Preston with the basketball now. Preston with 14 to shoot. Preston, now 10 on the timer. Still has the basketball. Now a switch coming from Neepkins. Preston, spin cycle. Jumper from the paint. No good. Rebounded by Dugalich. UCLA with 5-second difference between game and shot clock. Will Corey Close take a timeout here? Rice to Dugalich as they cross midcourt. Now gets it back into the hands of Rice. Rice has it now with 15 on the timer. Rice, 12 to shoot. Rice now down to 10. Rice trying to spin, and an offensive foul on UCLA. And Texas will have a chance at the last shot with 12 seconds left. 12 seconds left. Into the hands of Preston it goes. Down to 10 seconds left. Preston now. 6. Preston with 5. Preston finds the trailing. Crump for 3 in the tie. Off the mark. And that's going to be the end of the first half. And we have played 20 in Phoenix, and UCLA, in a rock fight of a first half, leads it. At halftime, it's UCLA 20, Texas 17. It's not been a game for those that are lovers of offense. UCLA, though, Lauren Betts and the Bruins, these seniors, can they finish the job? They lead it by 3. Halftime activities coming up in just a moment. halfway home in Phoenix, Arizona, and UCLA with a 20-17 lead in a rock fightish. See, I made up a word. A rock fightish first half between the Bruins and the Longhorns, SEC and Big Ten, and these conferences sharing the spotlight. Of course, a big week for the Big Ten. Of course, they've got two bites of the cherry to try to win a men's championship for the first time in 26 years. And UCLA, the last bullet for the conference to win a first women's championship in 27 years. The Purdue team in 1999, Carolyn Peck's team that had Stephanie White and friends the last time a team from that league won the championship. Let's get you a couple what else is happening across college basketball, the sports world. As you might have heard, seen earlier tonight on this watch along, what a wild ending, and for all the wrong reasons. South Carolina, what a performance tonight. The Gamecocks hand UConn their first loss of the season. They dominated the second half and win it 62-48. Their 36th win takes them to the national championship game. Again, we said during the game, I was going to mention, I said I would bring it up at halftime, so one more time, I will mention it. After the game, you've seen it by now, I'm sure, the post-game altercation between Gino Auriemma, the UConn head coach, and the South Carolina head coach, Don Staley, and Auriemma with behavior that, quite frankly, we'll just call it what it is. Appalling. And honestly, if you know the UConn program, you really shouldn't be that surprised that he would lash out like that. But anyway, South Carolina dominates, and Auriemma just very upset with Staley. Staley talked back, of course, but what a performance from South Carolina. It should not detract from the dominating performance that the Gamecocks had. They beat the Huskies. They're in the national championship. Chance at a second title in 3 years, and a fourth since 2017, and a third since 2022. And so the Gamecocks are going there. Women's basketball season almost over. There is one other game outside the NCAA tournament still left as championships are being unfolded. Columbia won the WBIT, and we'll mention the champions of other divisions and other games on Sunday towards the end of the broadcast. We'll mention them and congratulate them. But there is one other women's basketball game outside the NCAA tournament still to be decided. The Women's NIT Championship. That's tomorrow at 3 Eastern. Illinois State and Marshall will play in Huntington, West Virginia for that championship. Men's basketball, the Final Four, of course, is tomorrow night. Illinois, UConn, and Michigan, Arizona will have both games for you. We just cannot wait for that one. The NIT championship game is still to come on Sunday with Tulsa playing against Auburn. The college basketball crown is in its semifinal stage. Tomorrow, Oklahoma plays Baylor, and then West Virginia against Creighton. Big news today in men's college basketball. Amid North Carolina, of course, a coveted job. A lot of people that they are coveting. Well, Tar Heel fans, if they wanted them, or those that want them, or anybody else, they can now cross Tommy Lloyd off their list. Today, Lloyd agreeing to a new deal that will keep him at the University of Arizona. Awards day in men's college basketball. Cam Boozer of Duke became the fifth freshman to win the AP Player of the Year award. The AP Coach of the Year, that went to Nebraska's Fred Hoiberg. Hard to argue with that after the year he had with the Cornhuskers, taking them to the Sweet 16. A great year indeed. NBA action on this Friday night. Toronto leads Memphis 125-94. That's in the fourth. Orlando over Dallas at the end of the third, 111-92. Pelicans lead the Kings 28-21 in the first. Earlier tonight, Charlotte won its 42nd game of the year, a 129-108 win. I'm sorry. It was Philadelphia over Minnesota 115-103. Atlanta goes for 141 and a 141-107 rout of Brooklyn. How about the Knicks? They rout the Bulls 136-96 in a game they led by as many as 47 points. Houston 140, Utah 106. Boston started fast and never looked back. They rolled Milwaukee 133 101 in that contest. Of course, the news there also is that Luka Doncic is set to miss at least the rest of the regular season. He hurt his hamstring against Oklahoma City last night. NHL, just 2 games. Hi, Hook'em. And he found Josie at the OK Corral. Don't tell Joe about this. Anyway, Flyers beat the Islanders in a big game 4-1. Anaheim trails St. Louis 2-1 in the first. Flyers now moved within 1 point of the Islanders for third place in the Metro Division. So that was a big win tonight for the Philadelphia Flyers. Other news from around the sports world. Of course, we mentioned soccer in the championship. Coventry take a big step towards promotion to the Premiership. They beat Derby today. The real big story, though, is that Millwall moved into the second automatic promotion place by beating Middlesbrough. Rayo beat Elche 1-0 as La Liga came back from its break. PSG, a 3-1 win over Toulouse, another French title in sight for them. Elsewhere in the championship, Blackburn got a big win, 1-0 over Birmingham. Bristol City and Roy Hodgson's return to management beat Charlton 2-1. Leicester 2, Preston 2. Norwich 1, Portsmouth 1. Oxford and Hull shared the points 1-1. QPR a 2-1 winner over Watford. Sheffield United and Swansea a thrilling 3-3 draw at Bramall Lane. Stoke 2, hapless Sheffield Wednesday 0. Wrexham rallied to gain a point at West Brom 2-2. They're still in the playoff picture as well. Sporting Lisbon over Santa Clara 4-2 in the Portuguese League today. In USL League 1, the New York Cosmos over the Charlotte Independents 3-2. Genk beat Antwerp 2-1 in the Belgian League today. In League 1 in England, Mansfield 2, Doncaster 0. The big story today, though, Lincoln City wins, but they'll have to wait to clinch promotion to the championship. They beat Wimbledon 1-0, but they needed Bolton and Stockport not to win, and that did not happen. Bolton beat Plymouth 2-1. Stockport a 3-0 winner over Wickham. Elsewhere, Rotherham 0, Stevenage 0. Luton beat Peterborough 2-1. Huddersfield 1, Reading 1. Burton 1, Barnsley 1. Bradford beat Northampton 1-0. Blackpool 1-0 over Exeter, and Mansfield beat Doncaster 2-0. In League 2, Bromley held to a 2-2 draw at Barnet. Accrington 2-0 over Crewe. Bristol Rovers beat Fleetwood 1-0. It was Chesterfield a 1-0 winner over Cheltenham. Oldham beat Colchester 3-1. Grimsby 1, Harrogate 3. MK Dons 0, Barrow 0. Newport 0, Crawley 2. Salford 2, Notts County 1. Shrewsbury 1, Tranmere 0. Walsall 2, Gillingham 2. In the National League, York and Rochdale, they play last day of the season. They could be tied with the only automatic promotion spot on the line. York won at Boston United 1-0 today. Rochdale suffered a stunning 4-2 home defeat to Morecambe. Elsewhere in the world's most popular fifth tier, Aldershot 2, Sutton 2. Halifax beat Altrincham 1-0. Boreham Wood hit Wealdstone for 5. Carlisle 0, Gateshead 0. Forest Green beat Brackley 4-0. Scunthorpe and Hartlepool 0-0. Southend over Braintree 3-2. Tamworth 1-0 over Solihull Moors. Woking 3, Eastleigh 3. Yeovil beat Truro City by 1-0. So that gets you caught up on what has happened around the sports world as we get set for the second half of UCLA and Texas with a spot in the women's championship game on the line. Well, Lauren Betts, when contesting a shot, 1 of 8 from the field and 0 of 3. 37 combined points the first half, second fewest and a half in Final Four history. UCLA has won 72 straight games when leading at the half. They're up by 3 with a spot at Sunday's championship on the line. Inbound Lauren Betts, and here comes UCLA. Bruins with it, going right to left as you listen. In the white uniforms with the light blue numerals. Foul away for the ball on Texas, wearing the burnt orange uniforms with the white numerals. And that's on Brea Cunningham. And that's her third foul. And now she'll go to the bench. Oldacre back in. Here is Lauren Betts. Now gives it to Kiki Rice. It is Rice with the basketball. Rice, kick out, 3 from Casno, but Betts got the rebound. Betts now flinging it up to Rice. Rice for UCLA. Rice knifing in with the offhand, lays it in. Good finish. Kiki Rice with the layup. Her first points of the night. It comes early in the third quarter for one of UCLA's stars. Lee now gives it to Booker. Booker off the front of the rim, no good. Oldacre. Allen, Texas. 9:04 to play, and I meant to change the quarter. There we go. There you go, Seth. You'll get it one day, little buddy. Boy, do I miss JT. Oldacre at the foul line, the senior out of Mason, Ohio, and she's woefully short on the first free throw attempt. Oldacre is a 67% free throw shooter on the season. Second free throw, also no good, and the rebound gathered in by Betts. UCLA with the ball now. Here is Jaquez. Now Rice. Rice now gives it to Neepkins. Neepkins in the paint. Neepkins fade away from about 3 feet. It's no good. Rebounded by Texas. Jordan Lee with it now for the Horns. Lee, right wing, giving it to Harmon. Harmon now meanders to the left side. Here is Harmon, dumping it to Oldacre, and she rattles it in. Kyla Oldacre with 2 more points. She's got 6 for the game. And UCLA now up by 3 and having a hard time getting it inbounded, but they do get it inbounded. Bruins had it with Jaquez. Neepkins calling for it. Jaquez never saw her. Drives to the basket, misses a layup. Texas with a chance to cut into the deficit even more. Harmon, who's been the one bright spark plug for this Texas team in the first half, but on cue, she turns it over. Kiki Rice ahead of the pack. Rice then lost it, but it was touched last by a Texas player in Lee. Don't forget, Sunday, 3:30 Eastern. A little bit before that, we'll have the game, the women's championship game for you. South Carolina will be there. Who will be there? Their rivals from the SEC or the team from the West Coast? Dawn Staley doing some scouting and watching here in this second half. Betts, top of the key. Gives it over to Jaquez. Jaquez fade away. No good. Ball going out of bounds. Whose ball is it? It's going to stay UCLA's ball. 7:41 to play third quarter. 22-19, the Bruins lead. Chance of the championship game appearance. Chance to go to the championship. That is on the line here. And so we might be getting another appeal from Texas. I think that is the case. 7:41 to play in the third quarter. Texas and UCLA. Vic Schaefer hustling to get that appeal in. The old man's got some hops in him. 7:41 to play third quarter. Bruins by 3. We'll be right back. 7:41 third quarter. Red Box back with us. Says should finally be here for the rest of the game now. Cannot believe South Carolina pulled that one out. That was the least of what you missed on that end. And the appeal, and Texas wins its second appeal of the night. And I'm about to, for those of you that might be like Redbox that haven't been around or just now getting to the stream or seeing this score I'm about to read to you and that you see on your screen is not, for those that say is not wrong. 7:41 to play third quarter, and it is UCLA 22, Texas 19. That's it. We're almost 3 minutes into the third quarter, and both these teams combined have only mustered 41 points. You can make of that what you will. Madison Booker has missed a career-high 12 straight field goals. Lauren Betts has held Texas to 2 of 10 field goals when she contests them. Rory Harmon has been the one bit of offensive hope for Texas, the star guard number 3 who has the ball. Madison Booker, who hasn't made a field goal since 9:23 in the first. 1 of 12, I believe, is from the floor. Lee, Booker, 3, big if it goes. No. Missed it. Oh, and then a collision. Oh, the earth shakes. Booker and Betts with a heavy collision, and Betts is down face first. And it's taken a while to get up. Boy, that was a big-time collision, and Betts got the worst of it. UCLA star center got the worst of that one. Oh, my goodness. Ooh, boy, that was a nasty one. Boy, that was nasty. We hope for the best for... And let's see. And they're going to review this just to make sure if it's a flagrant foul or not. (22-19) is the UCLA lead. Redbox said he was alerted of the score before he saw my channel and immediately thought it started late or something. Well, I mean, it did, but still, that is just... It is just absolutely wild what's happening in this game. Again, we thank you for those of you that have been following all night long. We thank you for tuning in. When I was running over all the other scores from all the other sports, I failed to mention also the Corey Heim won another truck race. I know you're stunned to hear such developments. He won today at Rockingham. Of course, no cup racing on Easter weekend, but the trucks and the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, or as we call it, the Grand National, they're running this weekend. Grand National will run tomorrow with Corey Day on the pole. So again, Texas, and we're waiting to see if this is going to be a So we see this is going to be a flagrant foul here. We got a good one. Well, let me phrase that, a close game. I don't know if many people would call this a good game. So no flagrant foul. 7:19 to go third quarter. I think that's the right call because I don't believe there was any malice in that from Booker. I just think that was a collision, and it was a hard fall, and you hate to see that. That's hard to watch that head hitting the ground like that, though. My God. Lauren Betts is trying to say, she's giving the motion to her trainer. Hey, look, I took a shot to the head here. Anyway, ready to resume with 7:19 to play in the third quarter. UCLA with the ball up by 3. Jaquez, right wing. Jaquez now gets it to Betts. Betts, right wing. Betts. Jaquez. Jaquez now over to Dugalich. Dugalich in the paint. Jump shot. Rims out no good. Oh, great follow by Jaquez, though. And Jaquez puts it in. 6 for Gabriela Jaquez. And UCLA's lead is now at 5. 6:43 delay in the third quarter. Harmon. Contact with Rice and a foul on the UCLA guard. 5-point lead with 6:40 to play in the third quarter. By the way, those of you that I don't want to insult the audience's intelligence, but just in case we have some viewers that may not be overly familiar with women's basketball, you hear a Jaquez with UCLA. Yes, she is related to Jaime Jaquez, the current NBA player who once played on the men's team at UCLA. Her brother, Harmon, now gives it to Crump. And another foul, and this one's on Texas. So, some kind of violation away from the ball, so another turnover. Texas has had 7, UCLA with 12. 6:34 to go in the third, and it's 24-19. For entertainment purposes only, the under looks good right now, I'd say. A slip from Ledger Walker as she gave it to Jaquez. Jaquez now moves to the right wing. Betts on the right block. Betts looks for some help. Gets it in the form of Ledger Walker. On the right block. Now kicks it out to Dugalich. Dugalich with 11. Dugalich, lob. Betts off the window. Good. Lauren Betts with the finish inside. 8 for the UCLA star. The lead now back at 7 with 6:03 in the third. 26-19. Harmon now over to Lee. Lee inside looking for Oldacre off the glass. Good finish for Oldacre. Texas right back in it. They trail 26-21. 5:50 to play in the third. Up the floor it is Dugalich. Now Betts on the right block in a world of hurt. Kicks it back out Jaquez. Now finds Dugalich. Now Betts on the right block. Betts looking. Oh, what a steal. I'm going to call a held ball. It's going to be Texas ball regardless. A tie-up. Defensive play, though, with the Longhorns. But again, they call a tie-up. And it stays. It's going to be Texas ball. Betts just had that ripped away by Carlton. Good job, Justice Carlton. Taking the ball away from Lauren Betts. Not exactly the easiest thing on the planet to do. Harmon, up the floor. Harmon now on the right wing. Harmon looking to move with the basketball. Harmon along 2. Rims out, no good. Rebound, UCLA and Lauren Betts. Now it's Ledger Walker with it. Ledger Walker with 20 on the timer. Now moves to the left wing. Ledger Walker now back to the right side. Ledger Walker now gives it over to Dugalich. Dugalich now passing it up here to Neepkins. Neepkins to Jaquez at the foul line. Jaquez layup is no good. Rebound Texas trying to break 2-on-1. Madison Booker all the way. Another miss. Boy, she cannot buy one tonight. 14 straight missed field goals for Booker. Jaquez a three at the other end is an air ball. Betts went for the save. A push foul at Texas. You talk about it not being your night. It is not Madison Booker's night. Booker averaging 23 points and shooting 59% from the field in the first 4 games of this tournament. Tonight, 2 points on 1 of 15 shooting. Catch and shoot 3. Neepkins, no. Dugalich got the rebound, no. Dugalich on the right block. Back over to Rice. Rice on the right wing now. 12 to shoot. Rice moves. Good pass inside. Betts all alone. That's too easy. Lauren Betts inside. She's got 10, and it's a 7-point lead. 4-11 in the third. 28-21. UCLA on top. Harmon now with it for Texas. Harmon trying to go with it at the foul line. Now backing out of the perimeter. Booker, catch and shoot. Another miss. Betts had the rebound briefly. Poked away Oldacre. Betts poked it back. Oldacre went for the save. Whose ball is it? It's going to stay with Texas. Betts, though, is arguing for an appeal. I mean, it's one thing if it's just, but when you're talking about one of the best players on your team and one of the best players in the United States, who's carried this team at times, Madison Booker, and she just can't forget buy a bucket. She can't even rent one. She can't even rent one from Movie Gallery. Might be an outdated reference for some, but some of a generation will get it. Booker with 6. 5 on the timer. Booker's got to go. Kick out. Harmon, corner 3. Big one if it goes. It doesn't. Air ball. Oldacre didn't get the shot off before the shot clock ran out. And it's another Texas turnover. Jaquez to inbound. Needs help. Gets it in the form of Sienna Betts. Now back over to Jaquez. Jaquez on the right wing. Jaquez handling the basketball. Now Sienna Betts at the high post. Now gives it up to Neepkins. Neepkins went inside. Stolen away by Harmon. Texas on the run. Harmon going to slow down and wait for some help maybe. Here's Oldacre back to Harmon. Harmon on the right wing. Harmon. 17 to shoot. Harmon. Pass too strong for Booker. Off her hands and out of bounds. Vic Schaefer's stoic reaction kind of says it all. Another Texas turnover. Corey Close barking out instructions from the sideline. UCLA 13 minutes away from their first ever appearance in a national championship game in women's basketball. A men's team that has 11 championships to its credit. Women now trying to add another one to the rafters at Poly. And a bit of a stumble and then a foul on Texas. That'll be the 4th team foul on the Horns. 2:45 to go, third quarter. Usually I try to, which, you know, even with radio, on radio, radio feed, I don't do it as much as I used to do, but, I do it now because I have Redbox, and for those of you who don't know, well, I don't want to get too personal, but Redbox is blind, so I kind of, I go back when he's listening. If I know he's listening, I go radio style. I usually do it every time there's a score change. Well, there hasn't been a score change in a while, so I feel like I needed to update you what the score was. Rice nearly had it poked away. 2 seconds on the shot clock. Dugalich a heave, a prayer off the side of the glass. And it'll be a shot clock violation. So hope I didn't get too personal there, but I just explained as a reason why I have reverted back to my radio ways, my audio-only ways of days of pre-scoreboarding to tell you that the time of the score. 2 minutes, 24 seconds, third quarter, 28-21 UCLA on top of Texas. Here is Rory Harmon now, across the midcourt stripe. Now finds Ashton Judd. Judd now to Crump. Texas has gone 340 without scoring. Lee on the right wing, now drives into the paint. Nice move, Lee. Puts the shot up. No. Boy, Texas just coming up dry. You talk about not hitting the broadside of the barn. They couldn't throw it in the ocean if the waves were 15 feet high. Betts now with it. 18 on the timer. High post. Betts now gives it to Rice. Rice calling for some help. 12 to shoot. Being guarded very closely by Harmon. Timer at 9. Rice now trying to move. Back to Dugalich. Nearly a steal. 6 to shoot and a foul. It's going to be on Texas. It's going to be on Sidbury. Hands were kind of in the way there. And there have been a grand total of 2 free throws attempted in this game. Both by Texas. UCLA about to attempt their first free throws of the game. And it's going to be Angela Dugalich, the great grad student from DePlain, Illinois, the former Oregon Duck. Dugalich, a 76% free throw shooter on the year, averages 9 points and 6 rebounds a contest. First free throw is in and out. Oh yeah, that's true. I don't hide it from anybody. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Here's Dugalich, the 6th player of the year, makes the second. At an 8-point game with 1:43 to go in the third. Inbound to Rory Harmon. 29-21 UCLA. A minute 39 to play third quarter. Here is Harmon with the basketball. Now gives it to Carlton. Carlton off the window. Nice finish. Texas finally gets some points from Carlton. Minute 27 in the third. 29-23 UCLA leads. Up the floor now goes Ledger Walker. On the right wing, Ledger Walker. Being guarded by Harmon, now pass to Dugalich. Dugalich looking for some help, gets it in the form of Neepkins. Now over to Betts on the right block. Betts in the paint. Betts, turnaround, hook shot, no. Fought for, loose ball. Texas comes out of there with it. Good job of the Longhorns. Cunningham got it. Now to Harmon, inside 1 minute to play in the third. On a drive, Carlton, no. Carlton again, got it and one. Chance at a 3-point play for Justice Carlton. From Katy, Texas. Stick-to-itiveness on full display. And Carlton, who's a 73% free throw shooter, averaging 9 points and 4 rebounds a game, can cut Texas's deficit to 3 at the foul line. The free throw is up, and it is good. 29-26, UCLA. And now here's what's happened here. Play has stopped. UCLA was having trouble inbounding, but somebody had a trigger finger and started the clock. UCLA is about to get an all-time bailout here. There was 53 seconds on the clock, and as you know, and the clock was not supposed to start, but 2 seconds came off the clock. UCLA was having trouble inbounding the ball. Texas was desperately pleading for a 5-second call. But if what I'm saying is correct, and I believe it to be true, UCLA is about to get it. Oh, so Dugalich threw it to Ledger Walker when they were both on the baseline. And Corey Close was begging for a timeout and got it. Okay, I did not see that from the camera angle here, and the graphics department not doing its job. That's the World Feed graphics department. Of course, I could say that my graphics department isn't doing a good job because that's me. I'm the one that's running the scoreboard. JT would never. Redbox says the new Toronto WNBA team had their expansion draft today. They did. That's right. Hoping the Toronto team is what I need to finally get into the league. Well, it looks like we're going to have a season. with the labor agreements done, and of course, you got these great players who have been great in the college game over the years trying to send the NBA, Clark and Beckers and Reese and so on and so forth in Boston. And you got Wilson, UCLA again having trouble getting it inbounded. Oh, an offensive foul away from the ball on UCLA. And Harmon is down and is slow to get up. Goodness me. So, fourth team foul against UCLA, and Harmon in a right there. And boy, she kind of sold that a little bit, just like she did against Michigan when she got a similar call with the Elite Eight game on Monday. Harmon inbounds, getting it into Carlton. Inside, two more for Carlton. More than holding her own. UCLA again, Dooley, tall, long baseball pass. Long, they go long. And a foul on Texas and Crump. And Vic Schaefer can't believe it. 40 seconds to play in the third quarter. 29-28 UCLA. Producer Maher just told me that the pass wasn't catchable, so it shouldn't have been a foul. Oh boy, we got a lot of producers here. Double E, always a good one. And Vic Schaefer is livid at the foul call. And is he going to get technical here? First free throw, good. Couple of Schaefer's assistants having to hold him back. He's still furious. Second free throw, good. 40 seconds left, 3-point UCLA lead. Here's Harmon for Texas. 10-second difference between game and shot clock. Justice Carlton has scored Texas his last 7 points. Harmon, Carlton, fade away, no good. Rebound UCLA, Jaquez with it. 7-second difference between game and shot clock. Right wing, it is Jaquez with it. Jaquez, 12 to shoot. Dugalich, a travel on UCLA. Oh boy. The mistakes continuing to mount here. 10 seconds left. Texas will have it. Carlton will inbound it to Harmon. 8 on the timer. Harmon up the floor with 6. Harmon with 4 seconds. Harmon 3, 2 seconds. Harmon jumper, no. And that'll take us to the fourth. We're going to the money quarter. And the defense is not rested, no doubt about it. 10 minutes to decide in regulation to decide the second championship participant. The score, UCLA 31, Texas 28. Money quarter in Phoenix. UCLA, the last 2 seasons when they lead after 3 quarters, 66-1. Redbox has got shawarma on the way for dinner. I'm guessing that is a Canadian place I do not know about. Or maybe it's some kind of a food from Canada that I'm unaware of. Because it should be here right as this game is ending. You are eating a very late dinner tonight, my friend. We've all been there before. 31-28 UCLA, unless you've moved to the Pacific part of Canada, in which case it would be dinner time, 8:15. Corey Close. Can she get UCLA to the promised land? They've never played in the championship game. 10 minutes away from doing that. Texas, they haven't been since '86 when they won it. Under Jody Conrad, who, as we told you, is in attendance tonight. The great legendary coaches this sport has had. Vic Schaefer. He's getting close to earning it to having a title that he would preferably not have in this sport. No, in any sport, nobody wants it. Best never to win a title. You'd have to say he's right up there with some other coaches. Jim Foster, Gail Gestencours. He never won a championship either. Doug Bruno could never get one at DePaul. 31-28 UCLA. We start the fourth. Bruins right to left in white. Texas opposite end in burnt orange. Rice. Dugalich was all alone. Didn't take the 3. Went for a pass. It goes off the backboard to Betts. Betts misses the shot, but she's fouled. Well, that was weird. It was clearly a pass from Dugalich, and it hit off the backboard. And it was like, look what I found. I think it surprised her a little bit. She put up the shot, missed it. The foul, by the way, was on Cunningham. That is her 4th. And she goes to the bench. Betts makes the first free throw. So this is where we need JT, because he could Google. He would have already Googled, told me everything about it. First free throw good for Betts. Let me Google this. Okay, it is a dish. It's a Middle Eastern street food featuring marinated chicken, lamb, beef, and turkey stacked on a... Oh, wow. That actually looks really good. Last thing my fat ass needs to be as hungry at this hour. Now it is, so thank you, Owen. 33-28 UCLA. Second free throw was good as we get back to the actual game here. Texas with the basketball. Here's Harmon. Catch and shoot. That's not even close. Rebound, Ledger Walker. Harmon has not scored in the second half after scoring 8 in the first half. UCLA with a chance to maybe put the clamps down once and for all here. Kicked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bruins. 9:17 to go. 33-28 UCLA on top. Winner to play South Carolina Sunday at 3:30 for the national championship. Booker's last made field goal, the 9:23 mark of the first quarter. Inbounds pass. Jaquez catches it. Down UCLA with the basketball now. Here is Ledger Walker with 13. Top of the key. Lob. Betts the catch. Betts in trouble. Betts throws it away. Rice. Catch and shoot. Right wing. 3. Good. Big time 3 by Kiki Rice. 9 minutes to go. It's 36-28 UCLA. Harmon for Texas. Carlton. Crump. Lee. Carlton now, top of the key, and a steal. Ledger Walker with the defense. Bounce pass, Jaquez, layup, good. Jaquez puts it in, and it's starting to slip away from Vic Schaefer. Timeout, Texas. 8.5 minutes to go. And is it over? Yes, it might be. 8.5 to go. UCLA finding the offense. They lead it by 10. We'll be right back. 8:30 to go. 38-28. UCLA on top of Texas. They just announced the attendance for the game. 15,856. A sellout crowd, which is good. Texas trailed for 29 minutes and 7 seconds in total after trailing for just 8:44 in the last 12 games. And UCLA has started this fourth quarter on a 7-0 run. And Texas, if you've got any offensive prowess, you better show it now before it's too late. 8.5 to go. Danger zone time for the Burnt Orange. Here is Rory Harmon. Now Crump. Now here is Lee. Lee, 13 to shoot. Now gives it to Crump. Crump, fade away from 12. Good. Crump knocks down the jumper. It's 38-30 with 8:02 to go. UCLA up by 8. They break the press. Kiki Rice ahead of the pack. And foul on her way to the basket. Madison Booker is set to come back in for Texas. Free throws for Rice, the senior from Bethesda, Maryland. 90% free throw shooter. Booker made her first shot. Madison made her first shot from the floor. She's missed her last 15. Rice makes the first. What else did you expect? Eighth and D1 in free throw shooting. Booker. Harmon now gets it to Lee. Lee on the right wing. Lee. Pass picked off. UCLA with a steal. Bruins have it. Neepkins, long cross-court pass to Ledger Walker. Jaquez at the post. Looked for Betts. It was too strong for her. It flipped out of her hands and into the hands of Lee. Texas now trying to regroup here. Booker. Booker. Off the screen. Booker. Another miss. Harmon got it back, though, and it rattles out. The floater rattles out. And Ledger Walker the rebound. Booker now 1 of 17 from the floor. It's an unbelievably awful night for the junior. And a bad time to have it. Here is Ledger Walker on the right wing with 12 to shoot. Ledger Walker with 8 on the timer. Ledger Walker got to go into the paint. Ledger Walker inside. And last touch by Texas. It'll stay with UCLA, but they're only going to have 3 seconds of a shot clock with which to work with. Madison Booker, Lauren Betts defending, and I think it's not only I think it's just in her head. Because if you were watching the game, you would see that Booker, that was short as soon as it left her hand. Now, Lauren Betts is a heck of a defender. Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, and her 6'7" size is obviously a real mismatch, but still, you'd have expected Madison Booker would have thought a lot more. Vic Schaefer is behind the referee as he is looking at something just to make sure what the call is. 6:38 to play in the game. Let's see what the referee's going to talk about here. Well, Texas is going to appeal it again. They're 2 for 2 on those tonight. You know, I feel like when you're playing a game like this, if you appeal 2 times, it's like, you know what? It better be pretty freaking obvious if you want to do it a 3rd time, because that is dancing with the devil type stuff. So Raven Johnson looking on. It's looking like it's going to be South Carolina. It's looking like South Carolina is going to be playing UCLA. What appear Raven Johnson having some fun. Got a banana in her hand and dancing to a song of the last year. Chloe Kitts gives him a look as if to say, "I'm having none of this." Well, good grief. Texas hasn't been able to hit any shots, but they're winning the appeals. That's now 3 for 3. My goodness. So it's Texas ball, 6:39 to go. 40-30, Texas down. Booker gets it into Harmon. Harmon up the floor. Harmon. Booker now gives it to Crump. Crump now back to Lee. Now Harmon left wing, guarded by Rice with 17. Lee at the top of the key. Lee, she was looking for Booker on a bounce pass, and Booker never saw her. Miscommunication. Somebody didn't do their job. And it's UCLA ball up 10 with 6 minutes and 22 seconds to play. 12th Texas turnover of the night. UCLA has turned it over 19 times and they're up by 10. Crump gets in the way of a UCLA pass. Out of bounds it goes. The eyes of Vic Schaefer. It's been that kind of night. He could have never imagined that his team would have been held to a mere 30 points at this stage of the game. Betts inside, and 2 more for Lauren Betts. UCLA now up by a dozen. Betts with 14. Harmon now over to Booker. Crump. Booker. 17 to shoot. Booker in the paint. Jump shot. Another miss from Booker. And then we have a foul here, and it's on Betts as Oldacre went to grab the rebound. I mean, this is quite staggering for Madison Booker. I mean, she can't buy a basket. She can't lease one. She can't rent. She can't even get it for free like Trick or Treat candy. 14 and 10 for Betts. 7th career double-double, most among active players. Foul away from the ball as Texas was trying to get it inbounded, and I believe they're going to get Dugalich for that one. 5:50 to go in a 12-point game. Harmon to Booker, catch and shoot. Finally! One goes. And then they nearly steal the inbounds pass. It goes out of bounds. UCLA will have the ball. 42-32, UCLA. 5:43 to go. Finally, one went for Madison Booker. Here comes UCLA with the basketball now. Neepkins on the right wing. Neepkins with the basket on. Neepkins right wing trying to go. Neepkins now flares it to Jaquez. Jaquez, ball loose on the ground. Texas comes out of there with it. Harmon, a bounce pass to Crump. Booker. Now Lee on the right wing. Lee nearly lost it. Back to Booker with 16. Booker with 14 to shoot. Booker. 12 to shoot. Booker got to go. 8 to shoot. Off of an Oldacre screen. Booker, mid-range jump shot. And missed off the front of the rim. Rebounded by UCLA and Jaquez. Booker now 2 of 20 from the field and 4 points. UCLA fans starting to rise. Inside 5 minutes to play. Their team up by 10. Ledger Walker now to Dugalich. Lob to Betts with Oldacre guarding. 9 to shoot. Neepkins for 3. A high arcer that gets the shooter's touch. Neepkins gets the shooter's touch on the 3. And UCLA now up by 13. Booker for Texas now trying to direct traffic. Lobs it over to Harmon. Lee inside, and nice cut. And Lee with the basket to make it 45-34 with 4:07 to go. Jaquez, long pass, picked off by Crump. Not sure what UCLA was trying to accomplish there. And then Neepkins with the final. Double E's really testing his patience there. He's in my ear impersonating an idiot. Final 4 minutes. Oldacre for Texas. Crump. Lee, catch and shoot 3. That's good from the corner. 3 ball from Texas. They've cut it to 8. 3:44 to go. 45-37 UCLA. And then Dugalich with the offensive foul and with a shoulder, much to the bemusement of Corey Close. 3:39. Does Texas have the faintest bit of life here? 3:39 remaining. Corey Close. I'll tell you, man, she is something else. Great coach, but boy, when she gets upset, it can be, she's entertaining to watch, that's for sure. Booker blocked from behind by Dugalich. Out of bounds it goes. It'll stay with Texas. 3:35 left, 15 on the shot clock for the Longhorns. Now, does this come off of Booker last? You know what? This comes off Booker. I think this comes off Booker last. UCLA's turn to win an appeal, I think. 3:35 to go. Texas has 2 timeouts left. UCLA has 3. Texas has 3 fouls to give. UCLA has 2. Bruins with an 8-point lead. And of course, the defense has altered the shots. It has made life pure team miserable for Madison Booker. Here comes the call. I'm gonna listen in and see what the call is. Yep. So it's going to be UCLA basketball, and that's a tough one. That is a tough one. So it's UCLA ball, up by 8 with 3:35 left. UCLA getting it inbounded. They just get it into Ledger Walker. Texas trying to press. Ledger Walker. Not across midcourt yet. Now finally gets there. Ledger Walker. Harmon guarding. Ledger Walker now holding the ball, 15 to shoot. Ledger Walker now to Betts. Betts on the right block. Betts kicks it out. Marquez. Now back to Betts. Betts. Fadeaway jump shot. Too easy. Unstoppable in that spot. 16 for Betts. The lead's back at 10 with 3 minutes to play. 47-37. Harmon for UCLA. Oldacre on the left wing for Texas. Booker. Lee on the left wing. 11 to shoot. Lee, tough shot. In and out. Oldacre throws one up and gets fouled in the process. 4th team foul on UCLA, and that'll send Oldacre to the line. As we told you, a 67% free throw shooter. UCLA did not play South Carolina in the regular season. First free throw is good. Producer is impersonating an idiot again in my ear. Free throw no good. Booker got the rebound. Lee with it on the right wing. Lee drives. Lee held ball. Arrow favors Texas. 2:32 in the game clock. 12 of the shot clock. Longhorns down by 9. Booker with it for Texas. 8 to shoot. Booker, fade away. Good. Madison Booker has one. That's their third made field goal of the night. 7-point game. UCLA having trouble getting it inbound, and they'll call a timeout. And we'll take a short break with them to resolve some issues in Studio G. 47-40 UCLA with 2:18 left. Back to live action here as we near 2 minutes to play. UCLA gets the inbound safely across. 2 minutes away from their first championship game appearance. Dugalich. Leaner, no good. Rebound, Oldacre. And in Oldacre, nearly threw it away. Harmon has it. Under 2 minutes to go. Harmon. Oldacre. Going to try and take on Betts. Oldacre gets the hook shot to go. Texas within 5. 47-42. Minute 44 left. UCLA trying to do something. Again, having trouble with the inbounds here. And they get it across, though. And here is Betts. The mismatch with Oldacre guarding her. Oldacre guarding her. Now it's back to Rice. 14 to shoot. Rice. Oh, Rice loses the basketball. It's into the hands of Harmon here. Harmon with 1:10 to go. Lee trying to drive. Lee trying to take it inside. Lee off the glass. Got it! 3-point game. Under a minute to play. And a timeout taken by Corey Close. Texas not ready to go away just yet. (47-44) with 55 seconds. Texas has not been in the championship game in 40 years. UCLA, never. Now, it is worth noting here, I do want to get something out of the way. I think I mentioned this when UCLA, when I had their game of the second round against Oklahoma State. And I want to mention this here. UCLA did win the old AIAW championship back in 1978. It was held annually from 72 to 82. It was a precursor to the tournament. And the winners of those tournaments from 72 to 81 are recognized as national champions, but as far as NCAA national championships, UCLA has never been. Up by 3. Inbounds. Now Betts. That's some good hands to get it into. Betts Ledger Walker, Dugalich. Now it's Ledger Walker. 20 on the shot clock. Ledger Walker for UCLA left wing. Harmon went for the steal, then pulled back out. 13 to shoot. UCLA just holding it here. Here is Ledger Walker with 8. Pass over to Dugalich. 6 to shoot. Dugalich, fade away. No. Rebound, Texas. Booker's got it. 25 seconds. They've got 2 timeouts. Booker the other way. Blocked by Betts. Texas. Lauren Betts with the biggest block of her life. Wow. That puts a unfortunate capper to Madison Booker's night, I'm afraid. That was just the 13th foul, though, for Texas. Texas still has 2 to give. 18 seconds. UCLA to inbound. Again, having trouble. And they'll take the last time out. Corey Close is, again, just frustrated. Beyond frustrated. 18 seconds to go. Lauren Betts now having a talk with the official. Vic Schaefer, Blair Schaefer, his daughter, giving instruction in the huddle. 18 seconds left. UCLA is out of timeouts now, so if they have trouble getting it inbounded, they're going to have to find something, or else it'll be a 5-second call. 18 seconds to play for the right to go to the national championship. 47-44. UCLA on top of Texas. UCLA has not done the best job of getting to the finish line here, but that block from Betts may be just enough to get the Bruins into Sunday's championship bout. And it will be another difficult loss for Vic Schaefer to take. Another instance of coming up short. And Corey Close now talking to one of the officials. They're on the verge, Texas, for UCLA, of going to their first NCAA championship game. And wouldn't it be good to, and I'll tell you, you got to like the prospect of the fact that you have 2 teams who did not play in the regular season meeting each other in a national championship game. UCLA now to inbound. Ledger Walker. On the baseline, they advance. Rice, Texas really doesn't want to foul her, but they have no choice. And they do with 14 seconds. And that was great by UCLA. Get it in the hands of your 90% free throw shooter, Kiki Rice. Hit one, and you're feeling really good about it. Well, actually, I thought that was the 4th foul. I thought they'd already committed the 4th foul. Okay, so UCLA, Texas still has a foul to give. And now, confusion all over the place. And Vic Schaefer has called a timeout. Well, now that you have this extra foul to play with here, that you had it, if I'm Texas, I think it's pretty simple. I just have everybody in burnt orange try to smother Kiki Rice. Don't foul her away from the ball now. But just try and smother and just try to, have her covered and let somebody else get it. And when somebody else gets it, the closest Longhorn player fouls. Not that the other players on this UCLA team are bad free throw shooters, but Kiki's a 90% shooter. So you don't want to there. And if you're UCLA, that's got to be the plan. Get it in the hands of number 1 at all possible. And don't turn it over. Ledger Walker, the inbounder from the left baseline. 14.8 to go. Ledger Walker. And there's Rice. And Rice fouled with 13.3. Perfect plan for UCLA. And now, Kiki Rice, a 90% free throw shooter, 2 of 2 at the line tonight. And one free throw with 13 seconds could just about do the trick. First free throw from Rice. Nothing but net. Cash money. Now another one. This to make it a 5-point game. Here we go. Good. We just knew those were going in. Vic Schaefer's going to take his last time out to advance the ball with 13.3 seconds. 49-44 UCLA. On their way. Just about, I should say, on their way. You never want to say that a game's over, but they're getting darn close to locking up their spot in Sunday's championship. Five-point game, 13 seconds. Booker inbounds. Gets it to Oldacre. Booker stumbles, loses it. Gets the pass away. Oldacre, the jumper, that's off the mark, no good. Dugalich rebound. Rice foul with 3 seconds left. And UCLA is going to play for a title on Sunday. Another disappointing Final Four loss for Vic Schaefer. And miss automatics at the line for UCLA in the form of Kiki Rice. First free throw from Rice is good with 3 seconds left. We talked earlier about UCLA, all these experienced players. Rice, a senior. Ledger Walker, grad student. Neepkin, senior. Hawkes, senior / grad student. Betts, senior. Dugalich is a grad student. This senior class and wanted to run it back as Rory Harmon will check out of the game for the final time in her Texas career. Her, Oldacre, Sid Berry, and Sarah Graves are the seniors on the team, and Vic Schaefer giving her a word of encouragement and a frustration on her face as Schaefer talks to her, trying to give her an uplifting message, as he can do. And I think the biggest disappointment for the Texas players is that they'll feel they've let their coach down, because if you see all the celebrations, they in. Inbound with 2 seconds left. Clock will run out, and UCLA senior class is gonna play one more game, and they're gonna have a chance to end their careers on top on Sunday. The Bruins to the title game for the first time with a 7-point win as Vic Schaefer still consoling Rory Harmon. And now Harmon being congratulated by UCLA's staff, class act, Vic Schaefer, shaking hands with everybody as being the class act that he is. A high five of Lawrence. I didn't quite see her, but I'm assuming that he had a nice reaction for Corey Close. And so it is the South versus the West. It's the SEC versus the Big Ten. That will be the championship offering on Sunday afternoon. They'll get it going around 3:30. We'll try to sign on a little bit before 3:30. UCLA and South Carolina will contest the championship on Sunday. The final score from Phoenix, UCLA 51, Texas 44. We'll talk to you on Sunday for the Women's Championship. Matthew, JT, and myself will talk to you tomorrow for the Men's Final Four. What a weekend. The women's title is set. Congratulations to the Gamecocks and the Bruins. The championship on Sunday. Good night, everybody.